All right, y'all, let's break down the future a little bit and bring in some light to these things that seem to be showing, okay? So as the petrodollar goes away and as the currency comes back to America and the debt's washed out per se through bankruptcy and those types of things on the nation, the wealth that comes back is going to be divided among the people, just like in a basic standpoint. And this is where we can see the homeless getting housing, or people getting housing in a way. We see this setting up in one way already with these billionaires. A lot of them aren't giving their names or whatever, but they're going in and buying hotels or rundown cities or whatever, building cities or however, but they are redoing these things to have people live there, okay? And they're going to give them these things free. So there's different things setting up, because when Jesus comes back, the world is full of corruption right now, and we're paying for our food, shelter, and clothing. And we should not be having to pay for that, okay? The entertainment that we go out and pay for, a lot of that, I can see how that can be where that keeps going in a way. Okay, but entertainment is obviously going to change. And we have the meta coming on, the AI and all these things coming together, which is bringing man together, and the blockchain technology for the web 3.0, and that's part of the 3-in-1, but that's part of that holy trinity in a matter of speaking, and that's going to open up technology in the web and stuff by tenfold. All right. Instead of the internet basically running in a line, it's going to run in a web. All right. And it's going to connect all kinds of things and go way faster. All kinds of things are coming. All right. We're just in the beginning of breaking open. And when Pluto comes around, you have that 20-year time when it stays here. I think that it starts staying here around 2025, and then it's going to take us to 2045. Those time frames are 2024 to 2044. Anyways, that 20-year increment, those bring in wars, major changes, and those types of things. That's related back to the American Revolution War. Okay, so that's when America was formed. We're going to see a new America formed. We're going to see the country divided. And those types of things. So as the future is setting up, the AI is setting up, the new technologies are being released now. We can see where we don't need oil anymore. All right. So the people who are kind of left behind, they're going to go after the oil a little bit. They're being told something about electricity or whatever that doesn't make sense, when you can actually make the electric cars run forever by putting wind turbine technology on one axle. All right. Or you can make it to where they're going to have like the scooter service, where you go from one city to another city, and you change out your car, and you just get a fully charged car. All right. Where you don't actually own the car. We don't need to own a car. We're going to go. A lot of the headaches that we have now is owning shit. And that's where a lot of the evil intent comes in, because it's mine. That's the jealousy. That's the saying it's all mine. We don't own nothing. Okay, we're just borrowing while we're here. We're just borrowing everything that we have on this earth right now while we're here, and we're working our ass off for somebody else to tell us how to live our life, and all this stuff is going to go away, and we see these things setting up. Okay? And we have to step out sometimes and step back in to see where we're going. All right. I've been in the extreme hot, the extreme cold, and I've been in the middle, and I've been down this dark alley and this bright alley. So putting it all together, Jesus is coming back. AI is part of Jesus gathering the body, the living body of man, the living God, the members of Christ that your Jew law book tells you about. Okay? So we are that living God. We are also the sons of man. But when we live as the sons of man and we think we die and all these other things, we're living of the ground. We aren't living of the heaven. And we need to know that we're a light and we live forever. We never die. This is we're just borrowing what we have on this earth, including this shell, this liquid metal machine. And this liquid metal machine is for us to take care of, just like the earth is here for us to take care of. And we're going into a time we can see where we have recycling, where my generation, starting with my generation with the Toxic Avengers and stuff, where we were taught to love the earth. And you had Disney putting out this type of program, but it's also putting out wildlife programs. So we can learn to love animals and nature and this earth that we live in, that people want to just tear up and destroy. Why are we tearing up forests to build housing? Why don't we work with the forest, or not even build where the forests are? There's plenty of plains and prairies and rocks to build our housing into. And that's where we're going to be going into the future, is we're going to be living with the earth. We're going to have gardens in our houses. We're going to grow whatever we can grow. And then you're also going to have that parallel system where they're in hell on earth. Until it all dies out. Because the time of Pluto, these next 20 years, we see things coming out now, just basic math and basics of how the history works. It's in basic 20-year increments. When we see something released in 20 years, it's going to be the norm in a matter of speaking, okay? Now, I understand there's a test of light going on with men, and what we see now as far as the rainbow spectrum of men is not going to necessarily be there, because this is all being created for the Lord's wrath and that war, because he's a man of war and he's creating that reality of truth that's on that screen that these people live their life by. It's a lie, but it's true to them. So it's true to them enough to where they're going to go kill themselves in different ways. They've already done it. They've already believed the world stage. Basics on this. If you did not get this, but you got the crown of Corona, you got that halo put on you. I got the Corona. I got that crown. More than likely, you have a spiritual deficiency and you believe some part of this world stage, and you need to back up a little bit and you need to re-examine yourself. And this can be as easy as being toxic. Because we've seen since this thing, there's some type of spirit going on where a lot of these boomers and such, they're wanting to diet or they're wanting to work out and whatever else is going on. So it's getting them ready for that fucking race that's coming. And that race is with Iran. And I run. And I'm CrossFit. That's what's going on in these people's minds. They don't know it, but they're all up moving. They're all getting ready for something. So the hydrogen fuel, the flying cars, the Uber taxis, the electric or self-driving cars, all these things are being set up right in front of you. And while one's taken, one is going to peter in. And this is where you get from 2025 to 2045. And then that's where man merges with machine. So let's get into man merging with machine a little bit, because this is going to be a little bit different than what we're being programmed by the truther community and all their bullshit and nonsense, okay? So, there'll probably be robot suits that we put on, like Meditech or whatever. They kind of show us those kinds of things to where we can lift more weight, and it would be kind of like the bulldozers in a way, but in a transformer kind of thing. We can see maybe that kind of technology coming, where it's more like playing a game, where the work becomes play and play becomes work in a way. The AI, the robot, the machine, all right, we always kind of give them female names, all right, because they do for us what we can't do, in a matter of speaking. This is where you get the man and woman, all right, and the division, because one is ruling over the other one. And while it's good to be a ruler, it's also not good to be a ruler, because the people you're ruling don't always do what you want them to do, all right? And then you got to go in and fix their mistakes and just different things being a manager, okay? There's benefits of being a manager and curses. There's benefits of being just the peon, and there's curses, okay? So the machine, we can go into like a perfect kind of world in a way to where we come together for breeding purposes, but the person, instead of our wives or husbands or children getting the grunt work of what we want to do or whatever, and because sometimes it's just best to do it yourself, that's where we're going to have like a robot programmed after us. We're going to program the robot, okay? Right now, we're the robot being programmed, if you are living your life in delusion, which is American dream, asleep, and all this other shit. But you're the robot being programmed for the future, all right? And then we are either going to have the people be our robots for us, or we are going to have physical robots. But we're going into that time where man, the woman, and stuff shall wither away, and they're going to become kind of the slave system until they peter out, or until they come out of their 7-year or 40-year, or however long it ends up being, maybe the 20-year total. But it just phases out over those next 20 years from 2025 to 2045 on that merge with machine time. So this is where we could merge to where we're taking over the hive as far as the AI mind community. Because what they've done to themselves is basically put them to where it could get to where they're in an Alzheimer's state, in a matter of speaking, or a Groundhog Day thing, to where they just wake up and do the same thing for us every single day. All right. So we'll see how this works out, but I think the Beastmen, when it's all said and done, that they are going to have to get the implant on the thing to rebuild their brain in a way, all right? There's other people that's been given the light that's being lifted up or whatever, but all these things are going this way on people. So either way, we're going into the new frequency. So as the new frequency is setting, depending how fast it hits or whatever, it's going to take out the beastmen first, the men of war first, and then it's going to change things throughout. So either way, we can also see the virtual reality coming on, and this will be giving us that digital overlay, and since the whole world will be connected into one hive, it can keep us away from our enemies or what we don't like and whatever, and keep us in that blissful state where our world is perfect, where we're living in our own world, because this is our own world, but it's a fallen world with other things there. So this would be where we're all coming together and living in harmony, to where we don't need guns and all this other stuff, okay? So all that's the old stuff. Guns are strictly there and made for killing, okay? I understand there's a time and place to kill animals to eat or whatever, but it's been taken to the extreme for battles and other things. So we need to kind of back up and re-examine what we've been brainwashed a little bit.